Here are the top 3 reasons why most fitness businesses fail within just a year or 2 or 3 of being open. First off, number one is being undercapitalized. What do I mean by that? Like running out of funds, essentially. And, that happens often because I think it kind of goes to the third reason. The third most common reason is, in my opinion, is that lack of business know-how, general business acumen, like how to negotiate a lease and how employees should be paid and the management of people and the leadership of a team. All of those things go into it. And then the second biggest reason actually impacts both areas. It's failure to implement proper sales and marketing strategies. So it's funny, undercapitalization, proper sales and marketing strategies, lack of business know-how. And I just know this from my own personal experience from working with hundreds of gyms, being in the industry for almost 20 years now, and reading article after article after article in various publications like URSA and a lot of other things. But these 3 reasons are cited over and over and over again. You know what's funny? I didn't read and I haven't experienced the failure of a gym because the owner didn't know how to help somebody have a good workout. Telling, right? What that says to me is that a lot of people go into the fitness industry because they love fitness, not because they love business. And by loving fitness, and they're just naturally good at it. They do what they're good at doing. But to own a business and to do it well, you need to love business. You need to love develop. And if you want to have a business that you're not chained to all the time, where you have to do all the things forever, you also have to love developing other people, delegating, training, hiring, managing, or at least be very good at finding the people who can do those things. And so undercapitalization, running out of funds, is one of the biggest things that I see people having an issue with. But as I mentioned, the second area, proper sales and marketing strategies. When that one area is done well, all the others become easier. Why is that? Well, business know-how comes over time. You don't just show up in business knowing how to do everything. They don't teach you how to run a business in college. People who know how to run a business well get there by experience. Well, you don't get experience without runway, and you don't have runway without funding, proper funding, enough cash to be able to fund this business to where your knowledge outweighs the challenges, boop, and the scales tip and you start growing. Not only do you start growing, but you have enough time to keep growing to the point of making more money, income, revenue than you're spending on all of your expenses. Now, if you do sales and marketing well, you get more runway because you have more cash. And it's funny, but maybe people go into the business being underfunded and undercapitalized from the beginning. But if they do sales and marketing well, sales and marketing is what addresses the problem of not having enough cash or running out of cash. So I would propose to you that the number one solution for helping gyms continue to succeed or helping your own continue into the future is becoming excellent at sales and marketing. Funny story, almost every gym owner that I talk to tells me, oh, we're excellent at sales. We're so good at sales. And I find that one of 2 things are almost always the case. Either one, they actually are good at sales. The executing sales themselves as a salesperson, they can do. And they've learned to do it well because they didn't have a choice. If they didn't sell, they wouldn't have a gym. They wouldn't have any money. They wouldn't have any income. So they, by necessity, learned to become, decent at sales. But if you're the only one in your facility who knows how to sell, who becomes decent at sales, guess who never gets to leave that job? Well, if you never get to delegate the role of sales to your team, that means instead of owning a business, you basically own a job that comes with a lot more effort than a 9-to-5 job, a lot less income in most cases than a 9-to-5 job if you're running it that way, and a way more liability and stress than a 9-to-5 job. So it's a pretty raw deal if you don't learn how to develop your team and your system so that your team is closing sales for you while you're doing other things. Now that's one path. The other path that I encounter very frequently as well when someone says, "Oh, we're great at sales," is that they are great at sales, but only in the category of organic traffic. What do I mean by organic traffic? Well, if you watch my training video on the 4-segment sales system, it's a series, and I explain the difference between organic traffic and what I would call driven leads, or leads that come to your facility because of some sort of marketing offer, whether it was an email or a text message or an ad that they saw, but something that caused them to take action, an external force that caused them to take action versus them taking action all on their own, completely 100%, like a web lead or a walk-in would. So the processes quite often are set up to handle that sort of traffic, and they're not equipped to handle driven leads or leads from marketing. Now, what's interesting is if somebody does that sales and marketing area well, even if they're undercapitalized, like for instance, I've worked with facilities and helped them get over 200 members in a small boutique facility is what we work with in Members on Demand. But so most of my clients, small boutique facilities, we use the strategies from the big commercial gyms, the health club industry, and apply them and adjust them and adapt them for the modern world in boutique facilities. And what I find is in this world, if I'm able to help somebody get 100, 150, 200, 250, 300 members before their doors even open, and they're charging, say, $150 a month, well, they could be doing 20, 25, 30K a month of revenue before their doors even open. And in a boutique facility, 20K per month of revenue or more is quite often enough to be profitable as the doors open, like before any of the expenses start, like rent and payroll and insurance, right? So that is why I would say undercapitalization gets fixed by proper sales and marketing strategy, or not having enough business acumen to become excellent and elite, or at least better than the local competition around you. It's all fixed by having proper sales and marketing, because that's what gives you the runway to be able to succeed. Now, if you want help with bringing more people in through the doors, me and my team will do that, but we've also got some free resources. So click the link below this video and you'll get access to all these free resources to help you get more members. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link to the video series on the 4-segment sales system, because having more people in through the doors without leveling up in sales and retention is not a sustainable strategy. So go ahead and watch the next few training videos on the 4-segment sales system, and I can't wait to hear about your success. I'll see you there right now.